How's it going, YouTube? Jamie the Kid 00 here, coming to you guys with something a little bit different. I know that recently I haven't been producing very many Yu-Gi-Oh videos besides the constant spam of Mermail tournament diaries, and let's be honest, I'm a bit tired of Mermails. And also apologies, I am a little bit ill today, so that's why my voice is all horrible. So I figured I'm going to bring you guys a deck profile of something different. I've been testing wind-ups on Dueling Network quite a bit recently, and they are still quite competitive. I know there's a lot of debate between people for which build is kind of better to play, the Invoker OTK build or the kind of more control-y stunny build. I've been testing both. The one I'm most comfortable with at the moment is the Invoker OTK build with the Summoner Monks, but at the same time I do understand the merits of the other variant, and this is by no means the deck that I'm going to stick to. I am quite rapidly changing between the two, but I find myself bringing in more wins with this variant. So I think I'm just going to have to go through it and tell you guys my choices. It's quite a heavy monster lineup compared to some of the other builds that have been doing the rounds, and I guess this is just the spawn of Dueling Network testing, so it might be absolute ass in like real world tournaments, but we'll see. Either way, we're going to get into the list. They plays one Magician. This one Magician, you have to play so much differently compared to the old days. Like, when you had 3 Magicians, you could just waste that Magician, you could just throw it away, stick it under an Xyz monster and not care about it. Nowadays, you have to really concentrate on how you're going to manipulate this Magician. I often find myself in a really good position, which a friend of mine taught me, where if you can have this and Rabbit banished and coming back, if you can have this and Rabbit or this and Rat banished and coming back every turn, you can do some crazy plays by having this and a wind-up Rat that's live. And it's a fairly easy setup to do. So, like, that is a really good profiteering situation. And just the ability to rapidly bounce this and have, like, a rabbit to accompany it, or just bounce it, knowing that you have a rat in hand, or things like that that are going to complement it next turn. Recycling the Magician is just really important. And up until very recently, I was playing a Zenmeister, because I was often setting this, flipping a face up and having a rabbit on board, and then bouncing like the rabbit and getting stuff in the opponent's turn and doing crazy things like that. Either way, we're going to continue with the list. This was the one Magician. Of course, we've still got to be playing the triple Shark. This is, again, along with the Magician, the MVP of the deck. The OTK now is a lot different. I mean, you can get the OTK off with a Magician and 2 Sharks, or at least you can get close to the OTK. I've been doing some really interesting plays with Magician 2 Shark, and the fact that you play Triple Factory, the double Shark really isn't that hard to get to. But just the fact that Shark, now you can even manipulate it with Rat plays and Rabbit plays, just dropping it out when you drop a Rabbit. So that you can, when you drop a Rat, so you can get Rat, get Magician out of the graveyard, drop the Shark, crazy plays like that. So just Shark is just as good as he always was. Just the dreaded Magician Shark play takes a little bit more resources than it used to. Then we play, of course, the triple Rat. Rat is, like, it comes into its own in this variant. I don't think the 2 Rat is a very good number. 3 Rat now is incredible. Because you've lost a Sangan, so like the tour guide is even more of a one-trick pony, so you really want to have more tour guides in the deck. The 3 Rats just contribute to so many plays. I keep on going, having Rat and Shark in hand, and going Rat, drop Shark, Rat, get me a level 3, make Invoker, use Invoker to get like Warrior from the deck and make a rank 5 alongside the Invoker. So, and when you can make Volcasaurus with this deck, that solves a lot of problems. Then we play 3 copies of Wind Up Rabbit. My secrets have gone walkabout, so I have no idea where they are, so we're playing the lovely supers. Rabbit is the best floater in the game, and that is why we play it in this deck. It opens up so many plays, bounces things away from Veiler, activates your Magician, recycles your Rats, recycles so much stuff, and why wouldn't we play Rabbits? It's such a good card, and it activates Factory. That is the main reason we play it, because Factory is a card you really need now we're playing this deck. Then for the Invoker targets, we play 1 Warrior and 1 Soldier. I did not like double Warrior. I understand that Warrior is good for Rat, and I'm really sorry about the horrible sick noises. The Warrior, I know, is very integral for making Rat plays and making level 4s off of your Rat plays, but I don't see the need for 2. Because I understand that you're bringing this out off of Invoker. Yeah, that's fine. Once you brought it out off of Invoker, it's in the grave, and it's not a bottomlessable target. It can't be bottomless, because it has 1200 attack. So I'm not really seeing the point in having 2. I'd much rather have this in deck, so that if I draw it, yay, it's a 2200 beta, basically. It can deal with Thunder Kings and things like that. and is not nearly as dead in hand as Warrior is, so I like one Soldier and one Warrior. So ultimately, if I have to, I can search out the Soldier and bring it out in defense and make plays with him. I mean, he's a level 4 and he can make himself level 5, so he fills the shoes of Warrior. He just can't make other monsters level 4 or level 5. So, I don't know. I mean, you can play 2 Warriors, but I really like having the Soldier because it's a better draw. Because I've drawn this and it's horrible. Horrible on its own. That's the wind-up component. For the non-wind-up cards, we play 2 copies of Snowman Eater. Snowman Eater is a really awesome card at the moment. Just dealing with so many OTK pushes is really nice against, I've got the name now, Fire Fist. I'm not a big fan of it against Mermail, but I mean, I guess if they don't have the Marksman, it's really good for stopping their assault pushes over your one face-down monster that they're not even afraid of being a Sangan anymore. So, and they're really, really good in the grind game. Really good. So, double Snowman. The double Tour Guide, I play no extra targets. Literally, Tour Guide's only purpose is to go Tour Guide into Tour Guide, make a rank 3, that is your Tour Guide's gone. That is the only reason you're playing them. They'll aid you into other pushes, like with your Invoker plays and things like that, but ultimately Tour Guide is just Tour Guide, make rank 3. That is the only reason you play them, and it's a good enough reason in my opinion. Then we play double Summoner Monk, because it's Summoner Monk, and we're playing the OTK. There should probably be more spells in this deck. I'm probably going to cut one of my traps for another spell. But for now, they've been consistent enough. There have been the odd occasion where I've kind of had to hold them, but I found that holding them is quite good anyway, because you hold them for a really good moment when you're like, when your rat rabbit advantage engine kind of runs out, and then you just show them the monk and go, yeah, monk, get stuff, make big plays. So it's a good card. It's dead sometimes, but I mean, aren't all cards. There are a lot of dead draws in a lot of decks, so it's a risk we take. Then we play double Thunder King. These are coming in and out of the build quite a lot. I've been cutting them and putting them back in because I mean they've been good, and then at the same time, like drawing them anywhere past the first couple of turns is quite bad unless you're in the grind game. So I'm not sure how I feel about Thunder King. I might cut the 2 of them for more traps. I might cut them for Fiendish Chains. That's why I've been cutting them out for a lot. But at the moment, they're Thunder Kings. They've been okay, but I would understand why anyone who net decks this cuts them. I would really understand it. That is 20 monsters, I believe. I'm much more comfortable with the 18 number, so I might have to cut some things. Then for the spells, we play the 1 Reborn, the 1 Dark Hole, the 1 Heavy, just for the trinity of the big power cards. There's no reason to play any less than those. The 1 Avarice to recycle all your plays. I was playing a Book of Moon, but I wanted to cut this down to 40, so I cut the Book of Moon, because it was 41. Double MST. I don't think the 3 is that necessary, but the third is sided for Gozen, etc. Because some people are still siding Gozen, even though it's a relatively bad card in the meta right now. And then we play the Triple Factory. The Factory is still, it's even better now because you need to really set up plays in hand with like Rat Shark. Rat Shark is a really nice hand to have, and always having a rabbit online and constantly activating this card is just so good. So you really need to focus on having your factories online. And then even if you draw like a factory late game when you've searched out a lot of stuff, of course you can ditch the factory for your monk. Or if you're in a position where you just don't need the factory, you can ditch it for monk. So it is a spell for monk. You've always got to remember that. So that's the spells. I believe that's 9 spells. There really should be more. Then for the trap lineup, we're going to start off with one interesting tech that I think someone topped with, but I was looking at it on my phone. I have an app for this game, for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I saw this when I was looking through wind-up stuff. And it's called Zen Maelstrom. And I'll read this effect to you now. Tribute 1 wind-up monster with 1500 or more attack. Special summon 1 wind-up monster from your hand. Then you can special summon 1 wind-up monster from your deck with the same attack as the monster special summoned by this effect. So the reason why you would play this card, and why it is really, really good in my opinion, it's inconsistent and sometimes a bit dead, but hey, we play Summoner Monk, so we can't really talk. The reason why you would play this is you would tribute off, say, a dead Zen Mains, or a Shark, or a wind-up Soldier, or Warrior, because when Warrior boosts himself, of course, you can tribute it with this, because it's over 1500. When you have a dead wind-up with 1500 or more attack, you can do the tribute, and then get yourself either a Magician or a Rat from hand, and then special summon either a Rat or a Magician from the deck. Because then that leaves you with a board of Magician in defense, Rat in attack. You can then activate the Rat to get a special summon, and the Magician will net you a special summon, and you can go off from there. So just by having Zen Maelstrom and maybe a dead Shark, or a dead Warrior, or a dead Soldier, you can go into big plays with that. So all it requires in hand is a Magician or a Rat, and you play Factory. So it's an iffy card. I wish I could say this is tested really well for me, but I hardly ever draw it. And whenever I draw it, it's usually in a time when I don't need it, but I think it's a really good theory card, so I definitely think it's worth you guys testing. A card which I'm really considering taking out is the Huge Revolution is over. There's no room in the extra deck for a Stardust Dragon, so we're not playing Starlight Road in this build. But I feel that you put such big boards on field all the time, and Torrential is really big in the meta right now. Most decks, except for Fire Fist, play it, and a lot of Fire Fist variants actually do play it. So I feel the Huge Rev is really good for keeping your board alive, but at the same time, it is another inconsistent dead draw until your opponent responds. So on its own, it's really bad. It's good when you have your field, but I'm considering cutting it because I don't need it nearly as much as I have it. So I might cut that. Then we play the 1 Mirror Force. The reason being for the 1 Mirror Force is once your opponent has seen the 1, they're going to be wary of the second, so there's no real point in playing the second because they won't run into it. People will be very aware of it, and I will often find myself siding this out games 2 and 3. So it's good until your opponent sees it. Then for the continuing with the traps, we play double D Prison because the D Prisons are really good at the moment. I really like D Prison. Double Bottomless. Double Torrential Tribute because it's so good at clearing those big boards. 1 Warning because sadly Warning is at 1 and I really wish it wasn't at 1 because it lets so many things go off, but such as Yu-Gi-Oh! 1 Warning and then the 1 Judgment. That is the main deck. It is 40 cards, but I would definitely appreciate some advice on how to change it. I definitely think I'm going to cut the Thunder Kings and the Huge Rev for 3 more spells like a Book of Moon and then some more, maybe Soul Takers actually. Or a Lance or 2, if I can find my Lances. Continuing with the extra deck. The extra deck is Leviathan Dragon, Acid Golem, because the deck needs muscle, so Acid Golem is muscle. Leviair, because you can make some really fun plays with Leviair. Zen Mains, because Zen Mains is really good with Zen Maelstrom, and it's Zen Mains, so why wouldn't you play it? The newly released Ultimate Rare, Giga Brilliant. Temtempo, because it's Temtempo, it's a big Xyz format, so why not? MX Saber Invoker, and that rounds off our 3s. MX Saber Invoker, of course, you know, is essential for the OTK. So that's our 3s. For the 4s, we play 1 Utopia, 1 Maestroke, 1 Diamond Direwolf. You can make some really cool plays with Diamond Direwolf, tributing off your wind-up by targeting your wind-up rabbits, and then bouncing the wind-up rabbits. So Direwolf is really cool. And then, of course, he can exile and force himself, so he's good for removal. And then we play 2 Photon Papilloperatives. I wish we didn't have to play 2 because of the OTK, but sadly the OTK requires 2, so, well. 2 Papilloperatives. I mean, they're good, but OTK needs 2. 1 Shockmaster, because Shockmaster is still makeable, and I still really like Shockmaster, and it's Ultra, so why not? And then that finishes off the 4s, and then for the 5s we play 1 Tyrus, and 1 copy of the newly released number 61 Volcasaurus, which I've been using to a lot of fun on Dueling Network. But otherwise, that is about all I wanted to talk about when it comes to the wind-up deck. I might be able to bring you guys a control version when I'm happy with the control version, but for now, this is about everything I wanted to talk about with the deck. This has been Jamie the Kid 00, and I guess I will see you next time when I'm hopefully sounding a lot better. But yeah, I'll see you guys soon with some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Related content. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace out. Bye.